Hi, I'm Wendy Suzuki, Dean of the College of Arts and Science here at NYU. And I'm thrilled to be able to talk to you about this year's NYU Reads selection, Klara and the Sun. I loved this book. It drew me in from the first word. And I think it drew me in because Klara reminded me of myself. It reminded me of my efforts when I was in college to fit in, to try and figure out what are they meaning by what they're saying? How should I be interpreting this conversation going on in front of me? I found it heartwarming. I found it inspirational. I found it sad. I found it thought-provoking. And I loved every minute of it, especially when I got to listen to the great Kazuo Ishiguro talk about his process in writing this incredible book.
What I really found interesting in Klara and the Sun was the concept of love and how that was portrayed. Because we as humans think love is so black and white. You either love someone or you don't love someone, and your actions have to commit to that. But we see that differ in the book because, for example, Josie's mother. She lifts her daughter Josie in the name of love to give her more opportunities, even though her first daughter died. But that was still done in the name of love. However, we see that contrast within Rick's mother, who does not lift her son Rick because she wanted to humanize him. And that was still done in the name of love. Even though they were both parents, they both had children, they both loved their children, but they acted completely differently. So it really made me think that my perception of love can be so different from somebody else's. And that really makes you feel like love is not objective at all.
As a photography and movement scholar, I'm really drawn to Klara's concept of the gaze in Klara and the Sun and what it reveals to us in terms of our own humanity. I am interested in the power to see and to create images that allow us to see the other and approach the other, and also to think in terms of how that knowledge is limited and we need to go further with knowledge that goes beyond the gaze. It is this tension between the power and the limitations of the gaze that interests me in Klara and the Sun. It is that power and that tension that makes us human. That is where our humanity lies.
I think something that stood out to me was how Klara makes these observations of things that are completely routine and mundane, but in a slightly uncanny, off-kilter kind of way. For instance, she describes someone as wearing high-ranking clothing, which immediately made me think of a military uniform, but she was actually referring to a business suit. It made me wonder, do we rank ourselves and each other by the clothing we wear?
What I found most interesting about my reading of Klara and the Sun was how they just developed the idea of the human heart and how it seems important, and how Klara, she starts to understand the importance of it, and how she understands that even her knowledge as an artificial life, that she can't replicate it. Even this idea comes from her understanding when she talks to Rick about everlasting love, and does he believe love that could last. And even though he departed away, she still understands now after talking to him that love is lasting. And here I relate to that because even though now that I'm adjusting new to college, I realize that the love that I had before in my life is the love that I will continue to have.
One of the things that struck me about the novel was the cruel way that some of the human characters treated Klara. I was particularly horrified towards the end of the book when Josie gets tired of her and she's made to sleep in a utility closet. It made me think of the ways that we dehumanize and detach from the people responsible for our comfort and convenience, like the local delivery driver who has to cycle through a blizzard to get us our dinner.
I resonate well with Klara and the Sun. Following COVID-19, when our lifestyle started favoring technological advancements over societal reforms, I began to wonder if future generations to come, our society will be similar to the dystopian one pictured in Klara and the Sun.
Sadly, artificial intelligence is nothing more than a collection of data compressed into a computer program. And Klara learns to express her feelings of love through imitation rather than experience. The author conveys an adulterated kindness associated with the sun worship. But the human heart is more than just the old rhetoric. It contains both selfish desire and sublimated longings. It is unique and unrepeatable evidence of what makes a human being human.
I like the passage where the mother says to Klara, "It must be nice to have no feelings." And Klara responds, "I believe I do have feelings, actually. More and more every day." To me, as a philosopher, this passage raises one of the fundamental questions about robots or AI systems like Klara. Can they have feelings? Can they be conscious? Can they experience the world from a first-person point of view? This question is important because it's feelings, consciousness, that gives our lives meaning. It's not always going to be wonderful. As the mother says, sometimes having feelings can be tragic, can be awful. But feelings, consciousness, also open you up to so much of the meaning and beauty in life that it's an absolutely crucial question whether this kind of meaning, beauty, feeling is available to robots like Klara. And in the book, it seems Ishiguro wants to tell us, yes, that kind of meaning is available in principle to robots.
So I look forward to talking to all of you about this. Come up and ask me about what I thought about it and tell me what you thought about it. That's what NYU Reads does. It brings us together, and I look forward to talking to you more about this amazing book. Thank you.